Well, at the White House this afternoon, President George W. Bush hosted the 17th annual White House T-ball game. Teams from the Inner City Little League of Brooklyn and the Wrigley Little League team of Los Angeles were lucky enough to take part. The game was announced by ESPN's Karl Ravech, who just before the game had the chance to speak with the president. All kinds of baseball dignitaries on hand. Tommy Lasorda, Don Newcomb, Frank Robinson, several Negro League stars were there. And Karl spoke to the president, who said, you know, he's a big fan of baseball tonight, watches all the time.
I watch baseball tonight. It's a good way for me to keep abreast.
Right.
I'll be up there working on a speech, and there'll be a game in the back. I've got the ticket.
Are people more skeptical of the athletes now because of all the stuff that we hear about?
Yeah, well, it's hard to tell. I don't know. Clearly, the steroid issues put a cloud over the great sport to a certain extent. I appreciate the fact that the commissioner and the labor man have worked out an agreement to try to, win the trust of the fans.
When you were a kid, right? I mean, you witnessed Aaron breaking Ruth's record.
I did. I wasn't a kid then, though.
You're a young man.
I was, well,
You're a young
thank
man.
you. I was younger.
Now we're seeing somebody who's about to pass Aaron's record.
Yeah.
And yet that celebration that people had, for the most part, isn't there. What's your take on it?
It's hard for me to tell. Again, I know there's a lot of implications. My advice is for people just to wait and see what the facts are. I think time will tell. I've asked some of my owner friends about the Hall of Fame for Barry Bonds, and they got a pretty good answer, and that is there's a lot of very well involved, writers who are going to be taking a deliberate look. Hope they treat Barry Bonds fairly when it's all said and done, and they're the jury, and it'll be an interesting vote to see. Now, one thing about Barry Bonds is he's a great player.
Sure.
I mean, people who know baseball say this guy, was one like my idol Willie Mays. He could run, he could throw, he could hit for power, he could hit a lot of doubles. He's a really good baseball player.
Well, you can see much